I hear that you've had some questions, maybe some speculation, but today we're here to get you all the answers that I know you've been anxiously waiting for. So I'm here with our founder and CEO, Brett Davis, and our brand new president, Leigh Tiffin.
Great to be here.
Welcome. We're so glad to have you.
Thrilled.
And I like to see how you're like representing here, Leigh.
Thought this was the uniform for day one.
You understood the assignment.
That's right. I don't have my NIRVC blue shirt yet, so.
May I add, you're doing that shirt a favor, my friend. Looks great.
I like it. Looking forward to becoming a Texan.
So we know there's been so many questions, lots of speculation, lots of assumptions made, and we know what happens when you make those. So today we're going to clear that all up and tell you about how excited we are to have Leigh as our new president and leader of National Indoor RV Centers. So Brett, I know that you've taken private companies public, public companies private, you've bought privately owned companies, you've bought companies out of bankruptcy, and I know from our good friend, I'm going to call him my good friend too, Angelo, your CFO of over 40 years, that you've had probably over 110, 120 transactions throughout your career. So this is what you love to do, right?
Well, I would never doubt Angelo. That sounds in the range. But to your question, out of every transaction, you pick up a few arrows that you can put in your quiver that you can use later on in future transactions. But when it comes to the, I guess I would call it the shock and awe of the last 6 days, no, I've never seen this in my business career.
That's just what I was going to ask you. So the last 6 days since the Thor announcement, it's been sort of chaotic. Can we say that in the least?
Yes, I would ask all of our customers indulgence. I've literally got thousands of calls, texts, and emails that I'm not going to be able to return, hence this video.
Well, and we know that there's a ton of interest because just with the announcement of Leigh coming on board with us in this video so that we could tell our side of the story, basically, we've got 93,789 views just on that. So I know you all are watching and you're anxious to hear. And as Brett loves to say, no matter how thin the pancake, there's always two sides to the story. So today, we're going to tell you our side and just tell you the exciting news of bringing Leigh on board and what that means for National Indoor RV Centers.
93,000 views for just an announcement of a video?
I'm talking just the two of you in that picture. Woo! Pretty impressive.
No, I'd say that's pressure packed.
Right.
Well, I think Angie, some background would give context because this story is a lot longer than the last 6 days. While National Indoor RV Centers hasn't been the focal point of my career, it has certainly been the one company that I've been very passionate about because I'm passionate about the lifestyle. And it's the only company that I was able to start with a clean canvas. As you well know, we started with just a piece of dirt in Lewisville, Texas, had a vision, but no ability to execute it. So when we formed National Indoor RV Centers, we reserved 10% of the company for those folks who trusted me, believed in the vision, took upside instead of current comp. Many of our customers will know people like Eddie Braley, Todd Spring, you. So that's how we started. And if we succeeded, it had always been the plan to do an initial public offering. Not because NIRVC needs the capital, but to bring liquidity to our stock so that you all can cash in on what you've helped build. So no, it was always the intent. Just like we gave 10% to the managers, it was always the intent to have an IPO and sell 10% of the company. The remaining 90% will continue to be owned by the family trusts that have always owned it. I can touch on it. I mean, for me personally, they'll have to carry me out of there in a casket.
You're not going anywhere then?
No, I'm actually very excited
Right.
because my role will change and change into something I'm more akin to, more comfortable doing. To bring some time to this market, at least the Class A motorhome market, peaked in April of 2022. So by 23, we knew that the peak had been put in. We could then project how long this cycle in the RV industry should be, and believed in 23 that both the RV cycle and our overall economy would be in sync in 2029. And so started planning for and have been preparing for since 23 an IPO in 2029. The average age of a company at IPO right now in the US is 14 years. So NIRVC will be on the older side of that at 20 years.
I can't believe we're at 20 years, honestly. From the beginning, I can't believe it. It's so cool.
It's gone by in a blink of an eye, I'll grant you that. And it's not lost on me that in the career of investing, that's been my whole career, no one wants to invest in an old man. So it was critical that I find a successor who could take us to and through a successful IPO. That's not someone that investors will trust if you put them in the seat 6 months before an IPO. So in December of 23, I started in earnest. Made a list of criteria, interviewed executive search firms, and started interviewing candidates. You know, when you look at it in hindsight, NIRVC became a Tiffin dealer in November of 23.
Oh, I remember well. We were excited. Finally.
Ecstatic. When I say dealer, the first units we got were 5 Wayfarers.
Yep.
I remember it vividly.
And we were excited to have them.
So I got a call from Leigh wanting to come to Dallas or Louisville to meet in June of 2024. We'd only been a dealer at that point in time about 7 months. So I thought he was coming to give us our semi-annual review. You could have knocked me over with a feather. Leigh said, I understand you're looking for a successor, and if you're interested, I would like to throw my hat in the ring. And that did really take me back. And I pointed out to Leigh that NIRVC is private. Yes, we hope to go public in 29, but at the end of the day, we're just a pimple on Thor. I mean, Thor is the largest RV manufacturer in the world, not just the US, Europe, Australia. And I said, I can probably say to a moral certainty that we are not going to be able to pay you anywhere near what you're being paid. So I got to ask you, what's the interest? First words out of his mouth was, it's not about the money. He said, I would like to be a part of an IPO and have that on my resume. And I could totally appreciate that. I mean, at any given point in time, there's 36, 37 million privately held businesses in the US. Since 2000, there's only an average of 250 to 255 IPOs a year. Statistically speaking, that's 1 in 144,000. For appreciation,
That's pretty good.
You wouldn't know the numbers.
Shocker, right?
odds of you being struck by lightning in your lifetime is 1 in 15,000.
Wow.
No, when Leigh told me he wanted to put that on his resume, that resonated with me. I knew how rare an opportunity that was. He then told me that, which I know, I've seen it. I've seen him get emotional speaking about him. He loves his grandfather, but he said he would like the opportunity to make a name for himself out from under the shadow of his grandfather. He said he loved this industry, would like to leave his mark on this industry, and as he surveilled the landscape of both manufacturers and dealers, he felt a publicly traded NIRVC was the one best positioned for him to leave his name and his mark on this industry. I'm sure many are wondering about roles. He'll be over all operations. This isn't fake modesty. I am not a good manager. Not built that way. That's not been my career.
You like to manage those green dollars.
Well, that's my point. I've seen Leigh's track record. I've seen what he's done at Tiffin. Leigh is an exceptional manager. He thrives on coaching and managing people and whatever drama they may create. For me, I'd rather manage numbers because they create no drama. And it's not just recently, it's been there from the get-go, what the vision would be once NIRVC was public.
I think that's probably one of the questions that a lot of our customers have when they hear you say that. There's automatically some maybe fear that we're going to change, but I think your plan, it's going to be exciting to them.
Well, as a private company, if you were going to live this lifestyle, we wanted to try and remove the hassle. And we've done that by, from the very beginning, providing storage if you needed it, service, paint and body, our AIM Club, where our events team's whole mission is to create a memory at every rally that they couldn't do on their own, creating a shopping experience commensurate with what people pay for these units, proprietary safety products,
More exciting things to come.
and more to come that we could do as a private company, but expand a little to what you can do as a public company. Because when you get to a public company, my role is going to be more focused on strategy, investing for NIRVC, treasury for NIRVC. There's a lot of opportunities there. I mean, you can't have a Leigh Tiffin and a Ted Cook without thinking that at some point we expand the customer experience from womb to tomb. I don't want a normal public company in NIRVC. I envision a public company where our annual shareholder meeting is really an annual shareholder rally.
I like it.
That'd be different.
We're the very people who purchase their coaches from us, who come to us for service, who interact with us, are also our partners as shareholders. And candidly, that also creates the largest sales force out there for NIRVC, because all these folks know people who live this lifestyle. I don't want to get carried away like the RV world is the biggest thing out there. At the end of the day, it's still 0.71% of our annual GDP. We are swimming in a very small pond here.
He doesn't want to get carried away, but we did bring snacks and drinks for a reason. We know how Brett likes to
Plenty of caffeine.
tell us everything from the embryo stage. So you're getting it all today, guys.
My point was that never ever have we harbored, or I have ever harbored, of being the biggest. The only two things I would like to see in our RVC be is the best and the most valuable. Discussions with Leigh began in June of 2024. His answer to me of why, by any measure, he would be leaving a dream job at a much larger corporation resonated. I can certainly say from NIRVC's standpoint, I'm going to let Leigh speak for himself. This 20-month courtship, pretty intense vetting, lots of interviews, not just with me. I ran him through the paces with others. A son, a partner in a private equity firm who hires 20 or 30 CEOs a year, a couple of businessmen with large companies that I've been partners with several, in and out of several deals. I don't know, you probably have never been interviewed as many times or for as long as you were for this. Deep background check, not because didn't like Leigh, but because the NIRVC only gets to go public once. You only get one IPO. Had to get it right. Gosh, when you look at his age, he's an older spirit. He's mature well beyond his years. He knows this industry inside and out. He has a real presence about him. But when investors looking to invest in NIRVC at that IPO look at him, they're going to see at least 3 decades into the future with him, as opposed to an old man. So that's the background. This was not a knee-jerk reaction. This didn't just happen over a month or two.
Well, I know you well enough, Brett, over the years that nothing is knee-jerk with you. Everything we do is
Very thorough.
data, thorough, so I know you did your due diligence. And I have to say, like, we want to be the best. We got the best. And to Lori, one of the comments from all the comments, this might be my favorite, because she said, we hired the eye candy.
Oh, man. Now I'm blushing, Angie.
I told her we did. So anyway, all those great things, and I bring it back to eye candy, but we are so excited to have Leigh here
Glad
with
to
us.
be here.
No, Leigh is He's in it for all the right reasons. Our interests are aligned. If he executes, this is more a comp package like Elon Musk. He's got a very handsome IPO bonus upon successful IPO. So our interests are aligned. He's not in it for the short term.
Yeah, it was very thoroughly vetted from my perspective as well. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I've done all the talking.
So
I'm
tell
anxious
us-
to hear Leigh's.
Well, I mean, like Brett mentioned, we had a meeting here in the summer of 2024, and I kind of pulled him off to the side briefly at one break in the meeting and said, I understand that you have big aspirations for a 2029 IPO and you're actively looking, and if I could help you and might be a fit, I'd be open to talking about it. Love to see what that looks like. And may not be what you're looking for or what you need, but I'd love to talk to you about it. And that's really how it began. And I'd say over the course of the next 12, 14 months, it was just sort of an ongoing, intermittent conversation, right? And then last summer, toward the fall, we started to get very serious about it and figure out what that opportunity could be. And for me, out of respect for Tiffin, the 1,100 employees at Tiffin and my grandfather, our thousands and thousands of coach owners out there, you don't walk away from a dream job and an opportunity like that lightly, right?
Oh,
And so
I'm sure this was a huge decision for you and Bailey and your
the
family.
Yeah, of course. So we had to do a lot of research, and we had to make sure that we knew Brett Davis, the man, very well. And I think the more I got to know the team, the more I got to know Brett, the more I got to understand the NIRVC story just as a function of doing some business together and also building that relationship, the more it was attractive that there's a chance to change an industry here and to do something that's really once in a lifetime. And so I couldn't be more thrilled for the opportunity. As you mentioned, it's really not all about the money. Yes, of course, we all have some self-interest, and I'm not too good to make some money, but I really love the idea of having some fun at work, and working with a great team and making customers' dreams come true, and growing and building a business. That's really in my nature, to be entrepreneurial. And the brand, what the brand means, the fact that the founder and the executive leadership care so deeply about the brand and the reputation of the business. I mean, that reminds me of Tiffin, what I grew up around and what my grandfather stood for. And so all those things resonate deeply with me, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
We're just thrilled to have you, believe me.
We could not be more excited because, we had our own internal speculation when we knew that Brett was looking for a successor. And we had some great suggestions, but we were blown away when we found out that it was going to be you. So
It definitely took some folks by surprise.
Well, 6 days ago, for better or for worse, no one at NIRVC knew. I was the only one. And 6 days ago, that bomb landed. For NIRVC, I was pleasantly surprised. People, this is not an overstatement. Our team was ecstatic. They were over the top.
It was a very warm welcome.
Nothing else, we're a very transparent company, especially with our employees. They knew of an IPO in '29. They knew I was looking for a successor. There was fear of the unknown. The only commitment I could give them is I wasn't leaving. I was on a group text thread with our director of marketing and Angie, where our director of marketing said, if you bring in some arrogant turd, Angie and I are out of here. We don't know where we're going, but we're going.
yeah, we're leaving.
Well, they're still here, so that's good.
That's a good sign. So now that we've refreshed our snacks, this is going to be so dangerous. Can I just say that? Okay. So let's talk about the timing of this whole announcement, because it wasn't what National Indoor RV Centers wanted to.
Thank you. So is this part of the uniform?
That belongs to a different team.
How about the cowboy boots?
That's okay.
We are the cowboys of the industry.
Yes, that's true. I'll tell you what, I'm going to
I
go
like the
change
blue.
real quick.
Okay,
All
okay.
right.
Back in 5. Woo!
All right.
Oh.
I like it. You look
This is-
good in blue.
Thank you. Even more comfortable than the last shirt.
It was the last point of the hiring process, is that you actually have to look really good in the blue. And so,
We found one.
what do you think, ladies?
Yeah, for the audience, since you mentioned hiring, that list of criteria I was looking for someone young with lots of ambition, someone who really made a presence. And when I found her, I hired her husband.
I love it.
Bailey is amazing. Yes, she is my better half for sure.
Agreed, sir.
Well, we're glad she's part of the team. So, so let's get back to our timing question now. So I know that we didn't plan the timing of the announcement, and I know that there were great plans in place that I've heard about since. And then I know we kind of shocked our customers too. So we would have liked our customers, our employees, we would like to have shared that information in a different manner. So,
Well, I'll address it for our customers, and you can from your side.
Sure.
As we've said, this was a 20-month courtship. The timing of this wasn't supposed to come out until the summer. You had several things you needed to do.
a really fantastic expo, and then you can make your exit.
Well, I'll at least speak for myself. I think you had a pre-launch rally, you had your Tiffin dealer meeting, you had the expo.
There's always plenty of things going on, yeah.
So this certainly wasn't on my bingo card at all. For those who don't know, a gentleman by the name of Bob Barton. He's president and CEO of Thor Industries. I consider him a friend. I've had dealings with him to know that his word is his bond. Bob reached out to me last Wednesday and asked if we could meet to discuss going forward, which we met last Thursday in our Atlanta facility. Bob's very first question would have been my very first question if our roles had been reversed. Bob asked me, given our relationship, I would have expected a call. I said, Bob, I don't blame you. I would have too. The best answer I can give you is you would have gotten that call. In fact, you've probably gotten an in-person meeting. I was as surprised as you were, and unfortunately, so was my team. I didn't have a lot of notice either. I'd like to share, I received a text from Leigh the evening before. He said, I plan to inform Bob tomorrow of my decision to transition to NIRVC. I have prayed about it, thought it through carefully, and discussed it at length with Bailey. Happy to connect this evening to talk through it if you'd like. I believe the right approach is a direct, open conversation that gives Bob time and context. I will take full ownership of the decision and let him know I approached you, be clear on the Cornerstone strategy and existing commitments, and work with him on a thoughtful communication plan so you and I have a game plan before sharing anything with my team or your team. I do not want to introduce negativity or make this adversarial. Positive keeps the relationship moving forward. I plan to be constructive and influential with Bob. I have a strong and principled case for why you felt your successor should lead the company, and I'm convinced I can persuade him of this fact. Once the initial surprise passes, I expect Bob will be supportive and see this as a positive for the long-term Thor and NIRVC relationship. The problem with that is I get this text, you're in bed by 8 or 8:30.
I'm an early riser.
Leigh,
Hey!
Angie, talk about a party.
Awesome, thank you.
Mike Beaver.
Mike, Leigh
Welcome
Tiffin,
to
nice to
NIRVC.
meet you, man.
You
Great to
too.
be here. Thank you so
Nice
much.
to see you.
Yeah. Brett, what do you do with these, man?
He's got a collection in his
No
office.
kidding, right?
Welcome.
Thanks so much, man. Great to be here.
We refer to him as the gladiator.
I get to see one, big man.
Oh, this is Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
He does look
I
like it.
just
Yeah.
want to live up to my acting career.
Awesome, man. Thanks for the gift.
You did great cameo.
Let's set this back here.
Leigh goes to bed early, and you were meeting with Bob early the next morning in Red Bay, so I didn't have an opportunity to make that call to Bob Martin, something that I will regret. I do regret.
All happened so fast. I mean, there really
Yeah,
wasn't
really
time
did.
to everyone was just, I know you were doing other things at the time the announcement came out and couldn't break away.
Felt bad because I would have expected it from Bob if the shoe were on the other foot. I felt incredibly bad that our team didn't hear it first from me. They got it through social media.
The grapevine. Word travels quick.
But In typical Bob Martin fashion, though, he reached out and we met, and he was his usual gracious self. That was how the timing came down from my side. Knowing Leigh and knowing public companies, there was a succession plan in place. Just didn't expect that text. It's like Bob didn't expect it the next morning, but I think it speaks volumes to Leigh's character. I've always found him to be very straightforward, direct, open, honest, and I think that text says it all. Now, I don't know how what your world was like over there in Alabama, but that was the world according to Brett.
Well, for me, it was all that's true, obviously. You know, I think the other thing I would point out is just I felt a huge responsibility to the organization I was leading, and certainly felt like I owed Bob a great plan. Whether he decided to use that or elements of that, what have you, that was his decision. But, you know, again, tremendous respect for the Tiffin organization, for my family, for all the employees, the customers there, all the partnerships that extend up and downstream, you know, suppliers, dealer partnerships, and so forth. And so really wanted to make sure that we had left no stone unturned, or that I had done that before meeting with Bob to kind of share the news of the decision. And it was also my understanding that he was planning maybe some organizational changes in the future that could have been impactful to me in my current position. And I didn't think it'd be fair to him and his plans to let that word delay and to not give him ample notice so he could factor my departure and resignation into his future organizational plans. And so for that reason, and my respect for Bob and the class act that he is, I thought it was time to let him know that moving in NIRVC and the family would be moving to Dallas, and that we're very grateful for the 5+ years of opportunity, because I believe leadership's a privilege. And Bob really gave me an opportunity as a very young man to lead that organization. And you know, we wish him all the best, because we'll continue to support the brand from a different perspective, albeit, but very much looking for Tiffin to do great things.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair just to point out that, so you had a plan in place, you totally had kind of a blueprint for Tiffin as you were going to leave eventually. So nothing was a surprise other than just the announcement kind of got thrown on us.
Yeah, so the timing was a little bit hard to predict, right? Because
Right.
you know, you just never know how any organization is going to react. And I told Bob that I'd be more than happy to stay through the summer months, you know, even up until the end of our fiscal year, which is the end of July. And when they learned that I was going to work for a dealer group, they thought that it would be best if I went ahead and moved forward with those plans immediately. And I understand the decision and why they wouldn't want me to hang around for that transition. But
No, I do too, and I told Bob that. No, the optics of continuing to run a company for 6 more months, with everyone knowing full well you were going to be the president of National Indoor, I think that could be troublesome amongst the dealer body.
sure.
For better or for worse, that was the timing of it, and it all played out in 24 hours.
Well, the better part is we got you that much earlier.
We're on to the next chapter. That's
Let's
right.
go, right?
Yeah.
So I know everyone is, or a lot of our customers are really waiting to hear about what the future is for the Cornerstone. So can you both enlighten us? Because I know that we've, heavily involved in that new product, and we've given a lot of input there too. So we're all fully vested.
From the embryo stage, and you can tease me, Bob Martin, Ken Walters, and Leigh came to see me last April. That was another bomb. That told us that Integra's Class A diesels, the Aspire, Anthem, and Cornerstone, were going to Tiffin to be manufactured. I don't need to tell you how many Integra's diesels we sold a year. That's very impactful to us.
Oh, hey, I cut my teeth on Integra Diesel. Love the product.
Leigh and his team wasted no time in getting with us to get your feedback on the product. Wanted my feedback on the product since I've lived full-time in a Cornerstone for 7 years. I didn't have any real interest in saying, I think you ought to have these features or these options. Gingerbread, in effect, because I've said many times about this industry, R&D means research and duplicate. So I give you a few features, you put it in, and the next model year, every one of your competitors. In fact, I got a video out there that's not being very bashful about my concern of the 40-year decline in motorhomes, not just all motorhomes, and the reasons behind that. So I remember mentioning to Leigh, or telling Leigh, if you want to make real change, not gingerbread change, but real change, I would be all in. Got to turn this decline around. There is no comfort in the growth zone, and there's no growth in the comfort zone, which is where the motorhome industry has been the last 45 years. So what came out of our collaboration was to address that problem with 5 key tenets to the new Cornerstone line. Supply less than demand was numero uno.
Fixed production allotment.
And I remember it was discussed that something like 70 or 72 were going to be built the first year.
Yeah, just looking at market data and saying, what's this? Oh, whoa,
Hey,
what's
I
going
heard
on?
you're in control now.
Wow, well,
My
thank you
name's
for the
Kevin
controller.
Robinson.
Yeah, Kevin, thank you so
Welcome to
much,
NIRVC.
man. Appreciate that. I'll add it to my collection.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. So you're back in control just for a minute. Go ahead.
Our director of marketing absolutely will keep you on your toes.
I see that.
She likes surprises. But no, we were discussing, originally the number was thrown out to build 70 because I think there'd been 72 sold the prior year.
Correct.
And said, well, real demand is current model year. Said that there had only been 30 current model year Cornerstone sold. There'd been 42 Lot Queens sold, but that doesn't help anybody, especially existing coach owners on the road. Felt the market would be down another 10% this year. That got us to 27, and then to keep supply less than demand, 24 units is what would be built in model year 2027.
I would add to that Tiffin also had a development cycle and a production ramp up the first year that wouldn't have allowed for a whole lot more than that anyway.
True. The whole focus behind these 5 tenants was to, and in my opinion has to be done, lower the cost of ownership from 45 to 48% of value being gone in the first 5 years. It needs to at least be cut in half, if not getting down into the 18 to 20% that you see at Airstream, much lower with leisure travel. It's always lower whenever supply is less than demand, whether it's autos or whether it's motorhomes.
It's a basic tenet to anything.
That was one. And your idea, which was genius, to build trust with the public, was the badge. At the beginning of each year, you would state, based on demand, how many units would be built. And once those production slots were gone, they were gone. And every coach would have a badge on the outside and the inside that said 1 of 24, 2 of 24. So if you purchased that coach, you didn't have to worry about the next year and the next year and the next year, overproduction, big discounting, and cutting the value of your coach. Scarcity and exclusivity. That was the third tenet, because there's been 45 years of production coaches being marketed exactly the same way. And that with Cornerstone being a brand new line, it needed to have serious differentiators. This one was very near and dear to my heart, and that was see-through pricing. Doing away with these massive markups where the consumer never knows where they're at, either when they're buying a new one or trading in for a used one, between the markups, the over allowance, the smoke and mirrors. Customers don't grow on trees, and the facts are 2 out of every 3 first-time motorhome buyers leave after that first experience. Talking about see-through pricing, which meant the same price across the nation, did not matter which dealer you bought from. The manufacturer would control or prevent the dealer from being able to gouge people. As it is today, the manufacturer sells to the dealer for invoice. That's all the money he gets. Yet they give a markup to MSRP of 55%.
So the dealer can make as much as they want.
They're giving the dealer cover to make up to 55%. See-through pricing, it's the same price everywhere. When a dealer sells the unit and turns in the warranty registration, then the manufacturer gives the dealer a rebate. So the manufacturer would be truly reining the dealer in.
They're setting the margin, basically.
They're setting the margin so that the gouging stops.
And it's an
You do away with
easy
all-
decision for the customer. He doesn't have to wonder if he's getting a great deal.
Because it's the same everywhere.
Yeah, he just gets to pick who he wants to purchase from.
No haggle, which is the fifth tenet. No, if you can do away, or if you will do away with overbuilding and the ability to gouge people, no, the motorhome market will turn around. The wealth of the people who purchase these coaches, their wealth has gone up 32-fold since 1980, far, far, far outpacing the price increase of a motorhome. To your point, same price everywhere. Let the market dictate, the consumer dictate which dealer they would go to. I'm a guy who values service above price, always have. But no, they could go to wherever they got the best, both before and after the sale service. Those were the 5 tenets.
And those CSI rankings would drive ultimately how the product was distributed. That was sort of the logic.
That was the other thing Lee had that I loved.
So how the dealer ranks on the CSI,
You're taking great care of coach owners.
you get more
you get
product.
More product, right? Because it's always going to be in short supply.
I love that.
Yeah, the product would always be in short supply. Where historically, you can put in a big order, you're going to get it all. Here, it would always be in short supply, and so the determinant factor of which dealers got it was strictly based on their CSI scores, or in your case, the Net Promoter Score. Lee was trying to raise the bar. The only reason I'm going across all that, and I'm going to let Lee speak to it from the manufacturer side, as you well know, been out there for 8 months now, preaching these 5 differentiators, showing folks how this will reduce the cost of ownership dramatically.
And so much so as we actually have a pre-launch rally with over 100 customers signed up for it because of what you've been talking about. I mean, that's...
I'm the one hogging the show here. Let's hear from the manufacturer on the other side of this.
Well, our logic was pretty straightforward. You know, the overarching trend, even through COVID, had been that the Cornerstone, Anthem Aspire Cornerstone, the Integra Coach diesel product, had been on basically a linear decline in sales volume. So we looked at, okay, well, how many are sold, where are they sold, and who sells them? And we ultimately ended up having conversations with 2 different dealers, NIRVC being one of them, as you mentioned, the primary current model year dealer. And
the important one.
Yep. So, you know, we had open dialogue. We extended the same opportunity to both of those dealers to contribute and participate in the vision for the product and in the marketing strategy around the product, and what they thought the distribution plan should be, if you will. You know, what markets and where. And you know, ultimately we landed on the product needed a big facelift and a refresh, and so that's been a lot of hard work that the team at Tiffin's put in over the last year, and that's one reason that product won't really be in production per se until this fall. And
Getting
then,
it right.
yeah, getting it right. I
Fresh
mean,
too.
it takes time. You know, it was a good 1.5 years by the time you really go from concept to distribution to build a Highline 605 diesel.
And to make it unique and stand out and not just be, you know.
And then it was an iterative process, like Brett mentioned, on how you work through the strategy to get it to market and really create something differentiated and compelling, because that was my biggest concern from day one. You know, how do you differentiate the product itself
Right.
so that it isn't just a clone of Tiffin that
Right.
dilutes Tiffin?
Correct.
And then how do you create something that builds value for the end user, the consumer, and the dealers that distribute the product without it just being another sister or clone, because that's been done.
Yeah, just slap another name on it and call it Cornerstone now, but it's...
And my logic was, if we couldn't do that, if we couldn't answer those questions effectively, why build it at all? Right? Does it even deserve to exist? And we ultimately settled on what some would consider to be a very conservative strategy, right? A severe undersupply, you know, a true scarcity model with a lot of exclusivity. But the long-term vision was you really want to sell through that first model year quickly, right? With committed customer deposits. And then you begin building a backlog for future model years. And that begins to really tell you the market demand with no guesswork, right? You know who wants it and how committed they are. You're always able to undersupply that. You make the public commitment vis-a-vis the badge, and it ends up being a thing of beauty for everybody because folks get to enjoy this lifestyle and luxury and not pay through the nose to do it.
Right, to their pocketbook.
Think of Midage and Corvettes, what have you. When there's always going to be less demand than supply, 100 people signed up for that rally. There were only going to be 24 coaches built. We would not, NIRVC would not get all of those anyway, which put it in even more demand. And we've already taken deposits on 6 of the 24. Chances were that it would be completely sold out and start building a waiting list with deposits for model year 2028. So from a manufacturer standpoint, when it came time to build 2028, they could look and say, pick a number. We've got 55 on deposit for slots. We're only going to build 50 or 45. So that every year before the first one was ever built, the manufacturer knew exactly what demand was, exactly what they would build, and the consumer would know that they would not be harmed in future years by overbuilding and discounting, because the overbuilding and the discounting is just toxic. It's cumulative. If they overbuild next year and on average everybody got $25,000 worth of assistance, and then the next year maybe they got $20,000.
It just drops your value that much.
Well, it's now $45,000 over and above what it should have been. So no, that was the strategy.
Yeah, and we really saw no better way to beta test the theory than with a successor product that was really trying to resurrect something that had been on a severe decline.
Right.
And so,
but still had a good following, still
Very
have
much
some
so.
very loyal
Very.
followers. So I think, that plus having Tiffin build it, who's, been doing motorized coaches, wonderfully. So anyway, it was a great concept. So hopefully it can still.
Oh, as far as the product, I was very excited because where do you get the opportunity to pick and choose the best of both worlds? The best from Integra and the best from Tiffin.
Yep.
Starting from the foundation up with a Freightliner Power Glide chassis.
Yep.
You got the best of Power Glide, the best of Freightliner. Couldn't get it anywhere else.
Tiffin doing a hung wall in the same vein as Integra. I mean, you really are going to merge.
Marry all those.
Yeah.
Well, Tiffin started out doing hung wall. This isn't something new to them.
Right.
Probably enough filibustering and get down to the.
What the people really want to know.
I think the first thing to cover is, obviously with this leadership change, Thor has named Ken Walters as the interim president there at Tiffin.
Yep.
Yesterday was his first full day. He's got one day down. He was texting with me last night, and in fairness to Ken, not only he had zero discussion on this strategy, he didn't know anything about it because Integra had transferred diesel to Tiffin, and this was.
Tiffin's baby.
Yeah, Ken's a busy guy with a big job.
He is. Yeah. What Ken has committed to is actually to shoot a video on the Cornerstone strategy the second week of March. So we'll get to be on camera with Ken. He has committed to the fixed production, supply less than demand. He has committed to the badging. He has not committed to. He wants time, and hopefully he can get himself up to speed before the second week in March and can let everyone know. He is not committed to see-through pricing, and he is not committed to dealer allocation based on customer CSI net promoter scores. He hasn't said no, and he hasn't said yes. All he has said is, I've had one day. This just hit me.
All I said, he wants to be on video with us, right?
You and Ken play off of each other very well. With the change in leadership, that's as much as we can tell you about what this Cornerstone strategy will be compared to what we've been preaching it would be. We should have answers on that the second week on dealer allocation and see-through pricing by the second week of March. Probably then leads you to the 100 people signed up for the pre-launch rally.
That's the big question. So, are we having the pre-launch rally?
No. All we can do at this point is pull out our checkbook for consolation prizes. Everyone who signed up for that rally, they can have one of two choices. They can have a full refund of their registration fee. They can still go to the Ridge and camp for free.
All right, come join us.
So you get all your money back and you can camp for free at the Ridge,
Okay, great.
which to your point, the three of us will be there for a full day on the 11th.
11th. 11th of March, come party with us at the Ridge.
So we will be there the whole day. We'll buy you lunch and dinner. It won't be prison sandwiches, it'll be nice. Or we are sold out for the Music City Motorhome Expo. It was a task that IT did the last few days to see who was signed up for this rally and the Music City Motorhome Expo, because all the tickets were sold. How many of those folks were camping?
Right.
Because that's a limiting factor versus how many were flying in and staying at hotels. So while the supply lasts, they have the option of transferring the registration fee for the pre-launch rally to the Music City Motorhome Expo, so they can get in that way because it is sold out. And if they signed up for both and they buy a coach within a year, they get both registration fees back. So you can either move it and come to the expo, or you can get all your money back. Either way, if you'd had travel plans to go to the Ridge in Sevierville, you get to go there for free.
So all they need to do really is go to our website, or we'll send them an email letting them know how they either get the refund or whether they're going to come to the expo.
Well, I'm going to write a check that Chuck's going to have to cash. So yes,
Yeah.
he and IT will have it up, and
Yeah, we will communicate so that you'll know right away. As this video launches, you'll be able to go to that link and either get your refund or hopefully just come and join us at the expo.
Good backup plan.
And
Good
I would say expo, you can come to the Nashville expo or you can come to the Las Vegas expo. That's not even open yet, but I'd say I put them both on the right.
Yeah.
Either one.
I'm good with that. They can transfer it to either one.
Perfect.
The only caveat is the Nashville one. If too many people are wanting to transfer, we just physically won't be able to accommodate them there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
And then they'll have to have a refund or go to the Vegas Expo. Look, both cities have great entertainment, great food. Both expos will be great. What else you have on your list from scouring social media and what people have seen?
I think we've answered a lot of the questions. I'll go through them. I do have one personal question though. So, Leigh, because I know other people are asking the same question. Is it true when you told Papa Bob, how you affectionately refer to your grandfather, that when you told him about this opportunity to come and join NIRVC, that his first thing that he said was go find a good church in Texas?
First thing he told me.
Yep.
Oh,
Doesn't surprise me.
That is so like near and dear
Yeah,
to my heart.
he said that's the most important thing, and you do that, everything else will be fine.
Very nice. All right. Well, then let me get to some questions here. I'm just going to go and pull them off my phone. Okay. So we've had a lot of questions about this. I think this is one that you can answer too, Leigh. What will happen to Tiffin quality with Leigh gone? That was kind of a reoccurring question.
Hey.
Take us to the next level.
Oh man, awesome.
I'm
Thank
Rich
you so
Rouse.
much. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Welcome to NIRVC.
Nice to meet you, Rich.
Rich?
Heard a lot of good things about you.
Oh, well, hopefully
Yeah.
most of them are true.
Yeah, I love the balloon, by the way. I'll add it to my collection.
We're excited.
Yeah,
We're
thank
excited.
you so much.
All right.
It will be interesting to see how quality control plays out at Tiffin over the next 5 years. So a lot of people worried about without your leadership, without the family being involved, what's going to happen to Tiffin quality.
Yeah.
And we care about that too, because obviously we love that product. We're so excited to have it. We want more of it.
Well, we love it. It's an important, part of our inventory plan at NIRVC. And, my name's still on it, and I take a lot of pride in it. So obviously I wanted to do everything I could to make sure the organization's positioned for that transition and that momentum carries forward. I think, Brett mentioned it well. Ken's going to be very involved there. He's a very experienced gentleman, has a lot of a great team up in Elkhart as well, that I'm sure can support the efforts that are already in place at Tiffin. But more than anything, my confidence is in the people that sat around the leadership table with me at Tiffin Motorhomes. You know, I know that they take it personally. They take tremendous pride in the brand, tremendous pride in the product. And I think it always goes to the frontline team member and the folks that actually do the hands-on work every day. And when you have a committed, stable workforce like Tiffin does, I would expect the organization to continue on the same trajectory and to continue improving the quality every day.
Well, and that's been our experience too. So from the day that we first got Tiffin product, I mean, and we came out to Red Bay and met everyone, and you know, for everyone that we met, just you know, they love building the Tiffin product. They are committed, like you say. You have your own little community of, you know, builders there, which is amazing, and we've loved every interaction that we've had with the Tiffin company and all of its employees. So just leave it out as it is.
I expect great things coming from them in the future. I really do.
Most impressive thing to me is, you're leading a team and it's those around the leadership table, but out in the factory, it's your father with a belt on.
He's not going anywhere. He loves what he does, so he'll.
That's what I wanted to ask. So Van will continue to be there.
Bob, as long as his health and will allow him to, he plans to work. And then my dad too. Yeah. So.
And as far as quality, you can go to our defects per unit on our website page. That has cut through a lot of myths out there about quality at various manufacturers.
Yeah, that's the facts, right?
And just so that our customers that maybe are new to us, so that they know where to find that, if you want to see defects per unit, you go to National Indoor RV Center's website, you hit Learn, and then under Learn, you'll see manufacturer defects per unit. So if you want to do a little research, that's how you find it. Because I know not everyone knows that. It's not.
Well, that data comes from all of our PDIs, pre-delivery inspections. So across all locations, they're PDIing them against the exact same. And while we see those defects per unit in real time, we do update the website quarterly. And you can get it for as far back as you want. You can see manufacturers trending one way or the other.
Yeah, and if you can't find it, call one of our RV lifestyle specialists. They'll be happy to walk you through it and help you out. So always have to have a little plug. Okay, next question. I think we've also answered this, but a lot of speculation about, did you have a 5-year contract after Thor took over Tiffin, and now that's run out and they didn't renew it. So I think you already put that to bed, but.
Yeah, no contract, no length of time that was committed to. Just so happens it was about 5 years. I had a non-compete provision, which I obviously would honor. Retail was not part of that. And so,
thank goodness.
Yeah, right, here I am, on to the next chapter, and wishing Tiffin all the best and excited to be part of Indoor.
Yeah, same.
So the 5 years is just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence, yeah.
You weren't unhappy. That was another question. You weren't
absolutely
unhappy.
not.
You just wanted more growth and opportunity,
Yeah, I mean,
something
just
new.
getting outside the comfort zone. It's a chance to grow and learn a new piece of the business and the industry, but still support the brand, right? And I
Right.
think that is really important. And Bailey and I decided it was ultimately the best decision for our family.
So a couple other questions. New National Indoor RV Center locations. Who gets to take that one?
Obviously, we're 3 years away from an IPO. The number of locations and where they would be has been known since 2008. We'll be opening 2 locations for sure, and those will be much sooner than later. God willing, or I should say municipalities willing, we should be coming out of the ground this year. 3rd location, can't commit to yet. That's kind of a East Coast, left coast question.
We get a lot of suggestions on locations, and we love those, by the way. Thank you. Helps vet our decisions. We know that we know where we should be going. We also do that with a lot of data, though, too, like I said. Is National Indoor RV Centers going to be manufacturing an RV?
Wasn't part of my plans. I got a lot to learn and get my arms around with the team and what the lines of business we're currently in. But never say never. Boy, wouldn't that be quite the quite the plot twist, right?
You said womb to tomb, right, Brett?
I did. That would fall under, shall I say, my new role, since Leigh's freeing me up to do a lot of other things.
Not a no, not a yes. He's not giving us the answer, guys.
How can I say this? I mean, already divulged far beyond I'm comfortable with today, not from a competitive standpoint, but from the standpoint of it's all in the execution. Everybody can talk tall, and then if you don't deliver, you're just a braggart. And that I'm already too far out over my skis today. We got a lot to deliver on over the next 3 years. Hit what we expect to hit on our IPO.
Yep, that's right. And we got great manufacturing partners, and we believe that, you know, we provide an experience unlike any other out there. So probably going to keep doing what we do well.
Yep. And we have a great team here at National Indoor RV Centers. Each location, you know, is wonderful. We're growing, so make sure you send us those resumes. We'd love to add you to the team, right?
Yep.
Especially if you know how to turn a wrench.
Or if you can learn how to turn a wrench, you know?
Yep.
Sometimes it's a new career in the waiting.
We got the best instructor in the business with Ted Cook.
That's right. So I just got a call from Chuck on the Cornerstone pre-launch rally. Let me just clarify. If you are wanting to come and use your spots for those, you have to use them on those dates. So March 10th, 11th, 12th, check out on the 13th. 3 nights, you've got 3 nights free. If you were registered for the rally, come and use those spots, but you can't move those.
Oh my goodness,
Oh
look who's here. Hey man, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah.
People are hungry here.
Well, the snacks are almost gone. And we should feel pretty full, right?
Yeah.
It's
We've
been
been
a
here a while.
nice, productive day. So I have
so
what?
happy you're here.
Hey
Frank
man,
Hancock.
thank you
How
so
are ya?
much.
How
Yeah,
are ya?
awesome.
Pleasure to meet you,
Appreciate
sir.
that.
Brett.
Another one of these.
Nice to meet you.
Thank
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Leigh, I'm Tom.
Tom, thank you
Welcome-
so
welcome
much.
to NIRVC.
Yeah, great to be here. Sonia, thank you so much.
for joining our team.
Thank you for the balloon.
Thank you.
Great, sir. How you doing?
Welcome to NIRVC.
That's a
We're
pretty
gonna be
pink balloon, man.
friends forever.
Bradley,
Congratulations on the marriage.
thank you. Thank you very much. You gotta love this guy.
You're ready for lots of
Yeah,
laughs.
man.
I
Thank you so
might.
much. All right. I think we are.
All right, you're
Full of
ballooned
balloons.
out. Your office is now decorated. Little did you know.
Didn't know we were gonna have a welcome party today too.
All right, so I do have a real question for you.
Okay. Fire away.
What does your first day at National Indoor RV Centers look like?
Don't know yet. It hadn't started yet.
I know, but what are you gonna do?
Well, actually, first week on the job, I'll be visiting Fort Lauderdale, going to the Newmar dealer.
Oh, that's right. I know. I
Yeah.
love that.
So, looking forward to supporting a good partner of the NIRVC company.
Yeah, they are. They're a great partner. So, can you imagine Leigh Tiffin selling you a Newmar?
Hey, whatever we got to do for our customers, right, Brett?
That's right.
Yep.
No, this is going to be a fun ride, and we are so excited to have you along for the ride. We've got the best of the best leading our company, and everything starts from the top down. Your industry knowledge, both of you. I mean, I just feel like we're set up for greatness. So we're just super excited to have you join us, and like I said, marketing team, we're super excited.
Humbled to be here, thrilled to be here. Couldn't be more excited, obviously, and looking forward to working with a great team.
20 months in the making, and I've always said I'd rather sleep well than eat well.
We've done both.
Be able to sleep well knowing that you've taken the controls to take us through an IPO. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now, we talked a lot about the strategy going forward and cost of ownership with the Cornerstone strategy. If you want to have a little bit more insight into that, if you weren't able to watch Brett's video on cost of ownership, you'll want to go and check that out along with this video. I think we kind of give a lot of information about how you see the vision of our company, and then we've got Leigh's vision that we get to find out more about when he starts with us. So thanks for joining me so much today. It's been great. I hope that we were able to answer all your questions. And if we didn't, then guess what? you've got the comment section below. So leave your comments and we'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.